Beautiful.
Just a little lullaby to wake us up.
Michael, everybody.
Hey there, everyone. Michael here for the Fellowship of Acoustics. Milo on your right side.
Yep, I am. And we're here to show you two very beautiful boutique guitars. So I brought this guitar. You don't know anything about this guitar. You haven't?
I know that it's got fan frets.
Michael
obvious.
here is a fan of the fan fret guitar. That's why I picked it for him.
Yeah.
Now there's an interesting story to tell about these two guitars.
Okay.
And let's start immediately with this one. So this is a Ervin Somogyi guitar.
That name I have heard before. He's a renowned luthier.
Yeah, so
that's all I know.
I think a lot of people say he's sort of the grandfather of the boutique guitar building. So he was born in Hungary, did a lot of things in his lifetime, but ended up in America building amazing steel string guitar. He started out as a classical guitar builder, flamenco in specific, but he finally found his footing in the steel string market. And at the time that he was building these guitars, I think it was in the 80s something, people only knew about Martins and Gibsons.
Okay.
So those were the acoustic guitars that people were familiar with. And,
and then suddenly this guy enters the market.
A guy comes around, builds incredibly high quality instruments and blows everyone's minds. So he's sort of a pioneer in the boutique guitar building. We have here a thin modified dreadnought guitar of his. How did you like playing this?
It plays really smooth, actually. I feel like it's built for a player instead of being built for giving like the biggest dreadnought kind of sound, which obviously is not what this guitar is trying to strive for. First thing I noticed is something you'll probably explain why this is the way it is, but the body is actually slimmer at the front than it is at the back, so it feels really comfortable to get around. I'm used to fan frets, so I had my fan fret guitar is a little bit less fan than this one, so I was curious if I would notice it, but plays like a dream.
Yeah, so you touched on some interesting things because this guitar was also meant to be played while sitting. And that's why it feels so comfortable to play. It sort of it has sort of the sitting ergonomics of playing in mind. So what you mentioned is that the guitar differs in width.
Yeah, so maybe we can get that on the camera over here, is that it's a bit wider here than it is there.
Yeah, so we would call it a wedge, I think. Another thing that adds to the playability, as you mentioned, is the fan frets, and that's because of the skill length, of course. We have a 26-inch skill length on the bass strings, and it's a 25 and 1/8 inch skill length on the higher strings, and you need to have the fan fret, of course, to make up for this.
Yeah, because why would you have a fan fret?
Because of the difference in tension in the string. You want some more tension in the bass strings, and you want a little bit less tension on the higher strings, and this makes up for that.
Yeah, that's why I personally like fan frets. So.
And let's talk a little bit about Ervin Somogyi. Next to being a great boutique guitar builder, he's also an educator, and that's what also brings us to this guitar that we'll talk about in a second. He taught a lot of other builders about luthiery and just being an artist as a luthier.
Yeah.
And I think that's really special. He is truly one of the best to ever do it. I think we can show some of the details. Things that come to mind, of course, the beautiful inlay here.
Yeah, because it almost looks like a really tight woven carpet, but these are actually all separately inlaid small pieces
of wood. Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah. We have beautiful inlay on the fretboard as well. Of course, this bridge is amazing. You can also use this as a weapon to poke someone's eye out.
Of course. This is the human eye poker.
Don't, please. But this is truly sort of where guitar and art meet. And I would like to talk a little bit about boutique guitars and for which people these guitars
because
are made.
What makes a boutique guitar? Do you know the answer to that?
I would say that it's in the hands of a very, very small team, if not one person only. And that's also where the difference in price comes from, because people will say, I won't mention the exact price, you can look it up on the website, but it's really expensive. Yeah, people will say, why is this guitar so expensive? Why can't I buy an Eastman guitar? this is because everything about this guitar has been done by one man, and you get something beautiful when you get an artist and you give an artist a lot of time. And that's what you pay for when you buy a guitar like this, because it's one of the best luthiers around, and he puts all of his time into building a guitar like this. You get only the finest components, and you get a lot of time and effort into this product.
Okay. And you also mentioned he became a teacher.
He became a teacher, yes.
Next guitar.
The next guitar here is one guitar by Michihiro Matsuda.
You want to swap?
Yeah, let's swap. Just one last thing I wanted to mention about this one, actually. We have a really nice Florentine cutaway. This one used to have a pickup system in here with some knobs that has been removed and has been restored. And now they actually act like sound ports, which is really great.
I thought it was built this way, actually.
It looks like it, but it still has a pickup. It has the Airbags anthem in there. Right?
Okay.
So over to Michihiro Matsuda.
Something like that.
Really nice. So what we have here is a guitar. It's called a number 133A. Another name that comes up is Motanai.
Motanai?
Yeah, I will explain a little bit about that later. So Matsuda is a Japanese guitar builder, and he was a student of Ervin Somogyi. He actually has his own workshop in the San Francisco Bay Area right now, and he builds incredible guitars. What we should definitely show the people over at YouTube. Show the back and the size of this guitar, because that's really special.
I felt something straight away, which we should talk about as well. A lot of different pieces of wood.
And that's where the motanai comes in. So that is, it is a Japanese phrase, and I have to look it up what it actually means. I may be able to find use for it, let's keep it. That's what it means. It's a phrase that Michihiro utters when he walks through his workshop and he cleans up, because there are a lot of scraps of wood on the floor.
Yeah.
And he keeps almost all of these scraps, and he uses these scraps and all of the rest of the wood into new projects, like this guitar. So what you get, just have a look at this.
Here as well. Yeah, it's really beautiful.
The headstock and the neck as well. If you see the back of the neck, it has, I think it's about 13 pieces of scrap wood in this neck.
Which actually makes it really stable.
Yeah, that's
because
correct.
Of all these different types of wood.
Yeah. And the back and sides as well. We have, let's see, we have cocobolo, we have maple, we have myrtle as well. And all these different types of scrap woods end up everywhere on the guitar. I think it's really fun that you have this maple patch here.
I literally didn't see that.
That looks really incredible. Here also some burly maple here, which is beautiful.
Yeah, really nice.
So that is also a stance on sort of environmentalism and sustainability. Just use everything. Don't throw anything away.
And make a piece of art out of it.
And make a piece of art out of it.
Because it feels like a piece of art.
It is. The same with the Ervin Somogyi. Like I mentioned, it is sort of an art piece.
I do have to be honest though.
Yeah.
Matsuda was a student from Somogyi. It feels like a completely different guitar.
What did you feel when you played it?
The neck on the Somogyi was really slim.
Yeah.
This was a bit beefier. The body is not slim tapered the way that the Somogyi was for me to accommodate while playing sitting down. I think because I never held it before, I was like, what shall I play on this guitar? And I had to get a little bit more into it, but the sound was a bit more, it was fuller to me actually than the Somogyi, which makes sense because that is a really slim body guitar.
Yeah.
One other thing I noticed straight away, which you might be aiming at me pointing out, I'm not sure, but it's this heel right here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you can get that over there, but the neck is not a straight neck. This heel actually is perfect to have your thumb when you're playing up on the higher strings, which I was not, but it
Sort of a
does.
thumb rest, like a thumb rest on a bass. You can rest your thumb there for easier access on the higher strings, the higher frets.
Yeah, it's really smooth, really smooth.
And it's all these kinds of little details that make a guitar like this into the art piece that it really is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it is a really nice. It's really nice to see these two guitars together because they are interconnected.
We have teacher and student together.
Teacher and student
in the same building, which doesn't happen a lot in these kind of ranges of guitars, I could say.
And you see that Ervin passed on his luthiery, his artistry, but you get when people reach this kind of level in their talent, you get different products. You don't get guitars that sound alike, that feel alike, that look alike. And they're some of the most interesting guitars that we ever had in our store, and that we have these two at the same time is really special. If you have the chance to come by our store and try these out, maybe together if they're still here, please do it because it's a really meaningful experience.
Yeah. Do you have a pick? Because I'm really stupid and grab one before we started filming, but because I really want to try this with some chords and open strings. Or you were actually wrapping up, but. I always love it when an acoustic is really responsive to where you place your pick.
So I think, yeah, we should wrap it up. I just wanted to mention one more thing about Ervin Somogyi, because we had a great time.
I don't know what's coming up.
I did some research on these guitars, and Ervin Somogyi has a website with a lot of info on it. He has a bio that he wrote himself. He also has a bio, a humorous bio on there as well. And
he's a humorous man, it appears.
Yeah, I would say read this, please, because it's so funny. It's called Ervin Somogyi, A Living Leg, and I would just quote one piece.
Okay, just one quote. Then.
Yeah, one quote. Fascinating to women, respected by strong, silent men, charismatic.
Wait. Can you do this like a poem while I'll just play something beautiful?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
Fascinating to women, respected by strong, silent men, charismatic, deeply intelligent, wise, urbane, erudite, cultured, and compelling. Ervin Somogyi is none of these. It is such a funny bio. He has a picture of his guitar, so using the string as a bow and arrow, and it says, "You can't miss with his Somogyi." Please read it. It's really funny.
Check it out. Thank you for explaining this because I had no idea.
Thank you for,
I hope you learned
for playing it.
Yeah.
And again, these could be not a guitar for you. Maybe a cheaper Eastman or a second-hand guitar, or anything that you find is a guitar for you.
Yeah, we just love sharing the stories that are behind these guitars, which is why we're sharing them with you all.
More expensive is not always better. You get an incredible piece of art.
It's just different.
It's different. It could be not the right guitar for you personally.
Yeah, so, but I can also definitely see why this would be the exactly right guitar for a lot of people as well. So we'll end it on that.
All right. See you next time.